Assalamu alaikum, dears, how are you? To be able to live a good life, to be able to succeed, there are certain very basic requirements. And one of those basic requirements is self confidence. Being a confident person is extremely important because, in the absence of it, we are not able to utilize whatever well, not able to utilize well, not able to benefit well from our resources, from our talents, from our contacts, from the God gifted capabilities. There are people who are not very resourceful but they are confident enough. On the basis of their confidence, they are able to utilize and take the maximum advantage of whatever they are possessing. And conversely, there are also people who are having lots of resources but lacking the self confidence. And due to this, they are not able to succeed and be happy. We have made it a topic of our discussion today how to become a self confident person, how to develop the self confidence, how to improve the level of self confidence in ourselves. So, that is what we are going to talk about in the next few minutes. Every point we are going to raise here is really of great importance. So, let's begin. First of all, we need to know the technical definition of self confidence. It is self confidence is trusting yourself, trusting your abilities, and trusting your judgment. The self confidence means trusting yourself, trusting your abilities, and of course, trusting your judgment. So, that is the definition of self confidence. Now, the thing is that once we understood it, now let's move forward and let's try to understand that what is the challenge, what is the biggest ever challenge to our self confidence. So, to the amazement of many, it is not the external one but the internal one. Mean the others are not challenging or threatening our self confidence, but we ourselves. How do we threaten and sabotage our self confidence? It is the negative self talk. Self talk, people, some of the people might not be knowing it, that it is the self talk which is continuing in our head, all the time, almost all the waking hours. And for that reason, it is either building us or damaging us. The negative self talk, it damages us and it damages us a lot. I think even the worst enemy cannot do what the self negative self talk does. So for that reason, it is very important, it is very basic to identify the negative self talk and then to eradicate it. How can we eradicate it? We can actually replace it by positive affirmation. Removing the self talk, it will automatically get removed once we are, replacing it with the positive affirmation. Positive affirmation, we will talk about what are the positive affirmations at the end of this discussion. So let's move forward. Why did I put it at the end? Because it is something which is actually the which is actually the result of our today's discussion, we need to keep it with ourselves and we need to keep repeating it many times a day. So for that reason, we have kept it at the end. Now let's move forward about our discussion on the self confidence. How, what is the next thing after the positive affirmation, after identifying, recognizing the negative self talk, and after replacing it with a positive affirmation, what is the next thing to do? It is that we need to focus on our strength. Focusing on our strength, we do have the weaknesses and we do have the strengths as well. If at all we stay focused upon our weaknesses, it will automatically mean that we will start believing that I am the least capable person, I'm not competent, I'm not capable. So why? Because I am focused upon my weaknesses, looking upon my weaknesses because I want to overcome it. I am trying to overcome it. That is very nice thing. But staying focused upon my weaknesses, that is something which will destroy my self-confidence. I rather need to, everybody need to focus on your strengths. We need to focus on our strength. So there, how can we do that? Number one, listen to your, list your accomplishments. Mean not necessarily carrying a paper, pencil all the time. Rather, keep enlisting it in the mind that I have achieved this thing, I accomplished this thing. So that is my success. As far our accomplishments are concerned, I think we need to list it. We need to have a very clear picture of our accomplishments in our mind every time we are free. You might have seen the people who are talking to others about their accomplishments, boasting, bragging. I'm not suggesting that thing. You can do it occasionally as well, but all the time we need to keep this in our mind. Number two, celebrate small wins. Celebrating, actually appreciating yourself, appreciating your small wins. As for the major victories are concerned, it does not happen on a regular basis. It might not happen frequently, but as for the small wins are concerned, these keep happening. So we need to keep an eye on, we need to celebrate, we need to appreciate ourselves on, we need to appreciate ourselves on the small wins. The third is leverage your skills, leveraging your skills. So that is so important. On skills, of course, it is very important. Now taking the maximum advantage of your skill. So that is the leverage, take that is leveraging your skill. The next, what to do next? It is develop a growth mindset. After identifying our negative self-talk and replacing it with a positive affirmation, we move to focusing on our strengths, and now we are trying to develop the growth mindset. How can I or somebody focus on our growth mindset, develop a growth mindset? It is embracing challenges. We need to embrace the challenges. The hurdles are there, the difficulties are there, the challenges are there in the life of each and every individual. So what is needed is that we need to embrace it. We need to happily take it. Okay, why I am taking it happily? So why? Because it will keep me in the good mood on the one hand. On the other hand, I will take it as a fun. I will take it as a challenge, as a fun while interacting, while dealing with it. So once it is done, so then I think that it will raise the level of my self-confidence. It will raise my capabilities. I will be able to learn new skills. So it is embracing the challenges. The second is learning from the failures. The failures are there in the lives of every individual. So I think, but not to not to give up, not to quit, but rather adjust, making the adjustment and learning from the mistakes and learning from the failures, learning from the past experiences, either the pleasant experiences or the bitter experiences. We need to learn from our experiences, our mistakes, our failures, and thirdly, setting achievable, realistic goals. Setting, if many a time we are seen setting such a big goal that whatever should have been achieved in 6 months period, it could not be achieved even in 3 to 5 years time. So for that reason, it is really important that we do set the achievable goals. This was how can we develop the growth mindset, and now we need to practice the self care. How can I or you practice the self care? I think there are only three important ways to do that. So what is, first of all, prioritizing sleep, prioritizing sleep and exercise. 7 to 8 hours of sleep is needed. It is a must every night, preferably this, early to bed and early to rise. 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, plus exercise, physical exercise, ideally an hour of walk, or at least 30 to 40 minutes of regular walk or exercise. So it is the, we are talking about the self care, prioritizing sleep and exercise. Number two, it is the healthy nutrition, which is so important. And healthy nutrition, not eating, not preferring the junk food, the fast food, rather, take the organic food, unprocessed food. Do not buy the processed food from the market, rather prepare it, totally at your home. It is actually the healthy nutrition. And thirdly, relaxation techniques like meditation, like yoga, like deep breathing. It is the relaxation techniques we talked about, how to practice the self care. And now it is the building of build positive relationships. How can I do that? Surrounding yourself with the supportive people who encourage and believe in you. There are enough number of people in the society, even around us, who are toxic enough. You need to disassociate ourselves. We need to create a good distance, from us to those, and from those between us and those people. So the toxic people must be avoided. But as for the positive and the sportive people are concerned, we need to identify, we need to get introduced ourselves to those people, and then this introduction and this relationship should continue developing. So my dear friends and fellows, I think, surround yourself with the supportive people who encourage and believe in you. Now there are actions to be taken. What actions to take? Number one, step out of the comfort zone. As for the comfort zone is concerned, it does spoil us. Comfort zone spoils us. We need to come out of the comfort zone. We need to step out of the comfort zone. And as soon as we are out of the comfort zone, we are actually in the empowered zone. So stepping outside the comfort zone, not preferring the easier things to handle and to tackle, rather always have a little bit of the challenge in front of you. That is how we can stay out of the comfort zone. Number two, taking off calculated risks. Total risk aversion, it is not good at all. But at the same time, there are people seen taking the blind risk, uncalculated, that which is nothing lesser than gambling at all. So what is needed here? that we need to take the calculated risk. We need to look upon what is the probability of success. If at all there is a high probability, then the risk should be taken. At the same time, we need to consider that in the case of failure, what would be the cost of it? How much do I have to pay? And thirdly, it is taking a very good preparation. Take a good preparation, and that is how we can take the risk. And thirdly, assert yourself. Be a self-assertive person. There are 3 steps to be taken, 3 actions to be taken: stepping outside the comfort zone, taking calculated risk, and asserting yourself. So we are going to end the talk, and prior to ending our discussion, there are certain affirmations. It is the positive affirmation from where we started our talk. So there are only 3 positive affirmations which are so comprehensive, so simple, so easy, so easy and simple, but at the same time very effective and very comprehensive. So the first positive affirmation we need to repeat many times in a single day, that is, I am capable, I am competent. I am capable, I am confident. The second is, I trust myself. And the thirdly, I am worthy of success and happiness. Let me repeat these positive affirmations. I am capable, I am competent, I trust myself, I am worthy of success and happiness at the same time. And lastly, as a bottom line, please remember, self-confidence grows with the time, with the patience, and of course with the practice. But lastly, let me reiterate that in the absence of self-confidence, neither a good life nor a success or happiness it is possible. So it is extremely important that we try to develop the self-confidence in ourselves. That's all from me at the moment. Thank you very much.